is Adam muted to start our show? We love that. A good.
I jinxed us, bro.
start.
Muted.
A good
What? No. Something. One of you unmuted me because I tried to unmute me and I remuted me. Little tricksters.
We're like 0 for 2, and as long as we keep fucking up our intros every show and we keep winning, then that's just what we're gonna have to do.
All that matters. But yes, I was alluding to the fact that you boys have your Lions flags, and I don't have my Lions flag, but I got the Lions helmet, baby.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, sir. Locked and loaded. All right, we have a great episode today, and for those that are new listeners or just popping in,
We appreciate
we're
it.
gonna be tweaking it a bit. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays are getting a little bit tougher, so it's looking like Sunday mornings we'll be previewing the Lions game, unless they have already played on Thursday Night Football, because that will happen in a few weeks. But we'll figure that out when that comes. But typically, this will be our new start show time, Sunday mornings around 9 a.m., 9:15-ish. So keep your eyes open. We'll always be posted on Twitter as well. But Julius finally settled into Germany. How has it been? How's your first few days been?
It's been great, bro. I mean, Germany is a great country. You know, I'll miss America eventually, but right now I'm soaking it all in. You know, continue to serve my country and do what's right. We're gonna travel a lot. It's fun. I'm having a great time, and I'm never gonna forget about the Lions over here. No matter the time zone difference, I'll be as in the thick of it as ever.
I can't wait for you to find a Lions fan over there.
There's a Lions fan group on Twitter. I've already reached out.
Yes.
And Amon Ra, St. Brown, has deep ties to Germany. His mother is from here. He lived here for many years. And so I'm going to try to get into all the Lions, Deutschland I can. Yeah, you know.
That's so cool, dude. That's so cool. Like, it's funny too because Amon was bilingual. He can speak fluent German. He fluently speaks it, and that's so funny. You had mentioned when we all watched the game last week together. You had mentioned that he does a wide receiver football camp while you're over there, and I think that's so awesome. That would be such a cool experience to meet Amon Ra anywhere, but let alone in freaking Germany. Like that,
right?
So cool.
I'm gonna have my son. Yeah, my son plays football. He's 9 years old. He loves Amon Ra. He's gonna walk up to him and say what's up to him in German, and it's gonna be a great moment for me.
I love it.
Very cool. Love it. We got good show today. We have some news, as always, breaking down the Seattle game. But let's just dive right in. Barry Sanders, baby. That statue was looking mighty fine, like the card Nick represent. We finally put up a statue of Barry Sanders, not just Barry Sanders, but the first Detroit Lions player, which I did not know. If you would have asked me, have you seen the Barry Sanders statue? 5 weeks ago, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen it before. Lying my ass off, not knowing that there isn't one. So good thing no one asked me that, because I would have looked stupid. But yeah, the statue looks great. And then the most kind of Barry-ish news, he's releasing a documentary called Bye Bye Barry, and he has stated that he will reveal the true reason to why he retired at the prime of his career at young age, whatever. And there has been some speculation, and I guess what I've grown up thinking was he was sick of losing, and he just wanted to be done with it. And now it's got me thinking, was there something else? Was he injured or something? Was there family issues? What was it? Something else other than just like these damn Lions are making me want to quit?
I am curious. So I do still fully believe, not so much that we're done. He was just done losing. I don't think Barry cared that much. I mean, every competitor wants to win, and obviously Barry had that push to win. I think it was more just like putting his body on the line and seeing that I bet it comes out that the front office just didn't appreciate him. Didn't appreciate him, the team, like anything like that. Didn't give him what he thought he needed to not just win, but continue to be successful. I have no idea. Obviously, this is speculation. And we've gotten 2-3 documentaries about Barry already. Like, I'll be surprised if I learn anything new, honestly, in this one. But I'll always take any new Detroit Lions documentary. It does not matter if it's about Barry for the 4th, 5th time, because other than that, we don't have much to write documentaries on. Once we win the Super Bowl, there'll be a ton of them about the hardship we had gone through for 7 years. But right now, it's like Barry, Kelvin, and Matthew Stafford get our documentaries, and that Matthew Stafford is what end as a Ram. Like, it wouldn't even be our documentary. So I'm excited for it. That is for sure on Amazon Prime. Did you guys watch the Kelsey one yet?
No, I have not.
No.
But
it looks good.
because I never had Prime, and now NFL season's back up and running, got Prime again. So you might have to check that out.
Start getting them rolling. Yep. Mm-hmm.
We should have paid Barry. We should have paid Barry to play a few more years. That's what we should have did. We should have made him the highest paid player in the league. At that time, it was possible for a running back to be one of the highest paid players in the league.
Most definitely.
And I think the Lions, I think he took a lot of damage in his career. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see that. I think like he wasn't the biggest guy, you know what I'm saying? And how many times did he get tackled? You know, how many carries did he have in his career? How many, like 2,000 something? I don't know, but it takes a lot of damage on a person, you know, and you got to compensate for that, you know.
Yeah, that's so true.
I think the Lions did at that
which is why running backs are getting paid so little now. Because
Still
of all the wear and tear. But at the time, him and Emmitt Smith were, you know, Marshall Faulk, I guess, was coming up at the end there.
Yeah.
That was about Edger and James, I guess Curtis Martin. Like, there's some good running backs out there, but nothing compared to Barry, you know, nothing.
Absolutely. So there is some not drama, but some news. I don't even know what to call it. Suspension. It's not suspension. Is that right? I don't know. Ski Mask Sunday, boys. You guys know what I'm talking about. CJ Gardner-Johnson. He didn't just make a plea to Lions fans. He made a call to Lions fans. Said, bring your ski masks, show up. He made it very clear. This is all football. That's it. Nothing else related. So keep it football, keep it good. And I do believe I'm excited to see the ski mask in Ford Field. We'll say packed house, 65,000 fans. Over, under, do we see 20,000 in ski masks?
Under.
I think so too. I think we're going to see a big chunk in some sections, but you gotta assume that a lot of these Lions tickets season holders are grown-ups who probably aren't on Twitter, who probably aren't, getting ready to put their ski mask on. Granted, there probably is a lot of diehards that were all for it that are going to be there doing it. But there's also going to be plenty of families, and I guarantee you, Nick, you're not going to be putting on a ski mask next. Well, maybe you would, but
I would definitely be wearing a ski mask next to Juliana, and in fact, I'd have her wearing one too.
I was about to say, I'll be right there with you, bro.
Hell yeah, absolutely. But realistically, how many fans or what percentage do you think we will see wearing blue ski masks?
I got a lot to say about this, so I'm gonna let Julius go first too, because I don't know where my rant is gonna go.
I feel you on that, Nick. I appreciate it. Hey, so about the percentage, I think the percentage probably be about 10, maybe less, because 10,000 ski masks are a lot of ski masks. You know what I'm saying? And I know that most normal people, probably not going to go to the extreme of actually buying one and going on it. However, me, you, Adam, Nick, we're not normal. We would put ski mask on in Ford Field, and there's another 10,000 people that would too. So, but as far as the ski mask, I don't want to hear nothing about relating this to criminality. First of all, he made a good reference. We could be still. It's going to happen usually for the defense. CJ Gardner-Johnson is a safety. Interceptions, fumbles, takeaways, turnovers. That's what the ski mask will represent. We stole the ball away from them. Okay, we don't have to make it all negative all the time with stuff. This is Detroit City, okay? This is one of the toughest, most grittiest places to live, to grow up, to be around, and we take that with pride, okay? So the Lions haven't been good in forever. There's never a point in time where they would inspire people to put on a ski mask to even represent anything about them until now. So Lions fans and Detroit and Michigan everywhere need to embrace it. That's just my opinion.
I love that. I posted one of the funniest tweets I think I've ever
Nick,
posted
I
in
laughed.
my
I
life.
looked at that probably 10 times and laughed every
I'm
single
not really going to describe it on here because if you don't have Twitter and you don't really care, that's fine. But it was the wrong kind of mask. And I just posted, wait, is this not the mask I was supposed to buy? Shoot. It was really funny. In regards to the amount of people there, I do think it'll be around 10, 15,000 to start. Okay. And this is the thing. I think this becomes a thing. And this has been posted on Twitter by someone else, not us. And Amon Ruff followed up and said it was a really cool idea. The turnover ski mask on the field for the Lions. Whoever gets a turnover puts on the ski mask, puts on a chain when they get to the sideline. And, you know, Kirby or Tracy or Chauncey or whoever it is just puts on this turnover ski mask, or even like Aiden or anyone. I love that idea. I think to start the game, you will have a lot of people wearing a ski mask. We've all been to Lions games. It is hot AF in there. It is, especially if we're winning. You are like, for me at least, I'm like standing on my seat, just giving everything I got. Like, fuck you, Minnesota. Let's go Lions. And I'm sweating. I'm drenched in sweat. To me, like it's just sweaty. It's never great. I think those ski masks are on until opening kickoff. And as soon as opening kickoff happens, half of them will be up to here, and then half of them will be up to here, and then the other half will, or the other third will just be thrown out. It's just gonna be hot. But that's okay because we'll have a ton of TV pictures, moments, media moments of everyone wearing these, and it's gonna be great. It's what people are gonna talk about. And if we win, it's gonna be the coolest thing on earth. And if we lose, it'll be the most embarrassing thing ever. My last thing I want to say about the ski mask, which I love, and I honestly could talk for an hour about these because I just have so much thoughts. But the last thing I'll say is this is a PSA for all Lions fans. Just fucking be smart. Not in the game. I don't give a fuck in the game. In the game, be dumb. Be dumb and ruthless and wear your ski mask. But don't go to the freaking liquor store right next door to the freaking stadium and do something that's just that can end in like fatality. Like, don't be dumb about this. Just the last thing I want to see are 4 reports of 4 people
That's true.
being arrested
or something,
or caught or anything because they thought they were funny. They got wasted at 7 a.m. tailgating and walked into this liquor store at 12 o'clock. Oh, hands up, guys! Like thinking they're funny, and then they get shot. Like, I'm serious. We're gonna have stuff like that, and it's not gonna be great. So just keep it on the field. I said this once when I was at a Cleveland Indians game with a couple friends. We were getting into some heated arguments with some Indians fans, or now I guess what are they? The Guardians fans or whatever. Just keep it on the field. Just keep it on the field and have the utmost amount of fun because this is a great idea for Detroit. It gets a little nerve-wracking, but I don't mind being like I don't mind that. So just keep it on the field and let's have the utmost amount of fun.
Yeah, it's a great point, Nick, because there will definitely be some drunk, stupid Detroit fans. And
it would be me. It would be me. That's why I'm not downtown Detroit today. I can't do it. It would be me. So I speak on behalf of the
and man, I honestly I didn't hear the put the ski mask on after you get a turnover, like the turnover chain. But oh my gosh, isn't
that cool?
I love
Amon-Ra backed that. He tweeted. He was like, "This would be so awesome." So Amon-Ra's on board for the turnover ski.
And I hope hopefully they have just a dope mask. I'm sure they will have a sweet Lions mask if they do have one on the field for the defense or whatever. Yeah. But I know CJ Gardner-Johnson hooked up Babyface Ray with a blue ski mask. Nick, you might not know who that is. Julius, I'm pretty sure you do. He's a Detroit rapper and up and coming kind of dude, a little low key, but still well known to a lot of Detroit people. And he's going to be rocking it there. Gardner Johnson also said he wants T Grizzly there too. And I do think CJ is just bringing back like this welcome to Detroit City. We're bad mofos, like bad boys attitude to the Lions.
I want to tell a quick story about T Grizz. In 2000 and hold on, let me get there. 2018 had been 2018. I Ubered for about a month and a half. I just Ubered people around everywhere. It was how I made my living. It was great. It was through the months of like half of November and December. And one of those was T Grizzly and his entourage. And they piled in to my little Malibu. It was T Grizz in the back, along with someone else in the back, and they They had my car riding low in the back, boys. They're big guys. Those are big guys. And then one of his other bodyguards in the front seat with me. And we just talked. And like I told him I didn't know anything about rap. And he told me who he was and told me how to like listen and how him and Lil Wayne talk a lot and like collaborated on something and all this. Cause I was like, oh, the only rapper I know is Lil Wayne. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, you can look up. I got a couple songs with him. And I was like, what the fuck? Who are you? And he's like, oh, my name's T Grizzly. And I'm like, nice to meet you. I'm Nick Faber, bud. And and we just had a great like 20-minute conversation from downtown to somewhere off of Jefferson. It was awesome. It was really cool. I still didn't really know who he was. He left and I was like, some rapper named T Grizzly. I don't know who that is. And was telling some friends I worked with and they were like, bro, he's pretty big. And I was like, oh shit, that's really cool. So really random story, but I just wanted to get that out.
At least it wasn't like I met this like Big Sean dude. He wasn't that big, but yeah, name was Sean.
If you put Big Sean in a mix of like Julius and Big Sean, like I have no idea what this guy looks like.
That's
like
so
literally
true.
not.
He's pretty small. Big Sean's pretty small.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. But if he said his name, like T Grizzly said his name, T Grizzly, and I still was like, I've never heard of that in my entire life. But if Big Sean was like, I'm Big Sean, I'd be like, what? I know the name at least. Like I know the name, right?
Yes, sir. All right, let's dive into some Seattle Lions breakdown. There's some injury news for both teams, good and bad. Let's start with the Lions. We had Joshua Pascal hit an IR. He's going to be out for 4 weeks. That is why we brought Chase Lucas up to the active roster. There was a little rumor swirling that once we brought him up, someone was going on IR. Something was going to happen, and it was Pascal. So he's on IR. Khalil Dorsey's also put on IR as well. Not as big of a blow, but still. And then Taylor Decker has been ruled out today. Didn't really notice any type of injury or slowness in the Chiefs game. He had extra time to rest. Hoping this is just, something small, and him as a veteran, knowing his body is just like, you know what, it's best to take this week off. I will have 17 days to rest for the week 3 game, essentially. So I get that one. Lions offensive line also looked phenomenal too. So
and that was on the back of Decker. Like Julius, didn't they say he was injured from the first quarter? Isn't that what Campbell said?
Yeah, or the first half.
That's
I'm not
right,
sure.
yeah.
But he ended up playing the rest of the game, which might have been to his detriment as far as this game goes. Yeah.
But we got the W and we needed it. Matt Nelson
we got
going
it.
to be
The
helping
rushing
us out.
touchdown is what clinched it. So Decker, he went the right side, but still.
I'm a little worried about whoever takes over one of those tackle spots. Not Sewell. I'm not worried about Sewell. Matt Nelson? If he's the guy, I'm gonna be a little worried about him.
It's gonna be Matt Nelson. Are we moving Sewell to the left side? Or are we keeping him at right?
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure, but on the Lions depth chart, there isn't anyone behind Sewell, and behind Decker, Ragnow, and all the other 4. There's linemen behind him, and it's Nelson and Glasgow that I think.
So if Nelson start getting wrecked on the left side, I'm sure they don't mind moving Panay over.
I think Nelson is our tackle guy, and Glasgow's our guard guy for backups.
We are going to win this game running to the right side of the field. That's what's going to happen. Either that, or if we got to pass, we need Monty or Gibbs to chip and help Matt Nelson on the left side. You are not going to be able to. Seattle's got a good defense, right? We're going to talk about their injuries. A lot of them are on offense, right? They have a good defense. And in fact, Witten drafted Witherspoon over us. Like they have a good defense. So we have to be able to contain Goff, and Decker's huge. Friend of the show. Huge, literally and figuratively. Like he's a big boy, and we need him out there. And it stinks that he's not going to be out there, but we're wishing him the best, and hopefully we see him next week.
Yeah, agreed. Well, we're not the only team without a tackle out today. Seattle out 1, likely 2 offensive tackles, which is huge because we now have Aiden Hutchinson, who is going against Pro Bowler cheating Juwan Taylor to back up Seattle tackle. And you guys can imagine how that's going to happen.
If he had a name for us.
Yeah, I know. I did not have a name for us.
No one knows Seattle's backup tackle.
I'm sorry. Backup Seattle tackle, old man, likely to be Jason Peters, because they did sign him. I don't know if he will be playing, but they signed him to the practice squad right when this injury happened. He's 41 years old. I
That's
think Hutch
crazy.
would rag Dallas ass.
I hope so. Or Houston. I think Houston has the best day today. And
Oh
like
yeah,
statistic wise, I think Houston comes away with 3 sacks, 2 sacks.
three sack game.
Yeah.
James Houston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
believe.
listen, the edge position guys with like losing Pascal, what sucks because he's a good young player, but he seems to be injury prone. We're deep at edge. Okay,
Yeah.
we're deep. John Kaminsky, Levi Onzawerke. We can just kind of, the Okrars, who I think one is injured and one was inactive last week. So we got room.
I don't want to undersell Pascal though. Like he made the biggest play
young
of the night in the Kansas City game. I know we said we didn't want to go back to it, but he made that 3rd and 1. They tried to do this jet sweep with Blake Bell at center, and they handed off to whoever it was, and Pascal came ripping through to make a huge tackle. So shout out Pascal. We need you back. I understand IR for 4 weeks, which I did not know until this show just 10 minutes ago. But I'm hoping for those for the next 4 weeks. We play Seattle, Tampa Bay, Carolina,
Atlanta next week.
Atlanta. Like, yeah, okay. So we can get through the Green Bay, isn't there? We can get through those first like 4 weeks without Pascal, and maybe even if Decker wants to sit again, like just rest easy, boys. Rest easy. We need you for the home stretch. You know what I mean? That's what we need.
Absolutely. Also, Seattle is going to be without Jamal Adams, and no, maybe small chance without Devin Witherspoon. He was out last week. He is expected to make his debut, but he was like banged up in practice, and I think he was listed as questionable and expect to make his debut. So you never know. But all in all, I think the Lions are going to absolutely eat. The last 2 times we played Seattle, it has been points. 48-45 last year, and the year before that, it was 51-29. Lions taking both L's, so hopefully we can bounce back, make the victory count in this season, which seems to matter the most. But ultimately, I just think it's going to be defense. I'm not a big believer in Geno. I think last year was kind of a one-hit wonder type thing, and that was pretty much why Seattle was good, was because Geno was so good and out of the blue. And if you just were to assume Geno was this bad quarterback that he was supposed to be last year, this year, if he is that quarterback, Seattle could be what we thought they were week 1, which was, a 5-6 win team, not a playoff team. So ultimately, I'm thinking the Lions will definitely be able to lock them down in defense. Nick, what were you saying there? It seemed like you were.
I was just laughing at your quote. They are who we thought they were. That was all I was laughing at. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you for that.
Julius, what are you most worrisome today against these Seahawks? What could go wrong for us?
I don't really see much of a threat from Seattle at this point. I honestly was never a big believer in Geno Smith. And I just thought that they had a really good system for him. It's almost like what some people think of Jared Goff. I kind of think of Geno, but I think he struggles without those 2 tackles because our pass rush is going. I'm telling you, we bring the heat. I already know Aaron Glenn. They done had it on the bulletin board all week. They are about to take advantage of these 2 backup tackles. We are going to bring the heat to Geno. He's going to have to just be forced into throwing the ball up or doing some kind of trick plays. Is DK playing?
Yeah.
DK's playing.
Which would have been crazy because last week he just went up to a dude and just checked him right in the back, got a $20,000 fine. And honestly, if he would have got suspended, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense because it's warranted it. But
didn't he do the same thing to Jalen Ramsey last year in the
I'm
week 18?
pretty sure he's done And also that another good point there where it's like, how many we just gonna keep finding this dude or just because 20 grand's not, it is something to these NFL players, but if he's going out checking random dudes, he doesn't care about that money.
No, he doesn't.
I really want to see the Lions offense get back on track against Seattle. And being without Taylor Decker, maybe that hurts more than we think, but I really want to see this offense just kind of take advantage of Seattle at home. We can control this whole game from start to finish.
I guess there has been our boy Michael said that maybe it's been announced. I don't know. But they've already shown that Penny will play at left tackle. So
Okay.
maybe he does line up
This
at left
is what I
tackle.
thought was going to happen. And I told a
Okay.
couple of buddies at work, I said, what I think is happening is we are starting the transition of either getting rid of Decker or moving him to the right. Now, that's a few years out. This isn't like we're starting the transition. It's going to happen in 2 weeks. No, we have Decker for a few years. But we are now to the point where if Decker gets injured, we are going to start moving Sewell to left. And there's a possibility by next year, Sewell is our left and Decker moves to right if he's still on the team. And we're done just like Sewell's going to be our right because Decker's going to be our left no matter what. I think we're over that. I think we're going to start seeing the best tackle in the NFL start to play the best position needed for a tackle, which is left tackle, and we're gonna see what happens. I don't know how true this is, Michael. I hope you got it from a great source, but this is what I've been expecting. I was telling people at work. He doesn't work with me, does he? All right, I could be a source.
That'd be hilarious. He's like, yeah, I got it from this Nick dude at work.
And was fine against Bosa.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean Bosa will
He
line
can
up
play
everywhere,
left.
though.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter! Oh, the boys are
There's
back
Peter.
in town.
Yes, sir.
I love
Number
it.
one fan hopping on.
We have to. Okay, so I don't really know where we left off, but we're talking about Seattle, and I want to jump in. 'Cause I got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, I'm jumping in like a freaking, I don't know, something jumping into a pond. Geno Smith. They were up 13-3 last week. No, sorry. They were up 13-7 last week going into halftime with both of their tackles. As soon as their tackles got injured, they didn't score a single point. Seattle, they look bad without their tackles. Geno looked bad against a really bad Los Angeles Rams defense. And there's two telling signs to this. One, that Geno needs his tackles. He needs time to get the ball away to these very talented wide receivers. But two, they lost to the Rams at home in Seattle.
Wow.
That's a tough loss, and they're going to be fucking mad. We won. We beat Kansas City, and I hope we're aggressive and ready to fucking pounce on them in Seattle today, or at home against Seattle today. But it's just like, this is what trap games are built on. However, if there's anyone that can beat a trap game, that's Dan Campbell. So I'm curious on how this goes. We have to be able to stop their rushing. Julius, I saw you want to jump in real quick. What were you going to say?
You were just mentioning trap game, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a certain type of team that is trap game immune.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like what we were talking about, the bad boys. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Detroit City. You know, those teams, they're underdog teams always. Even though they might be favored to win, they're always trying to prove something. And I think that is what the Lions is. So I think the Lions at this current juncture, like you said, Nick, Dan Campbell team, they can't get trapped into a game at home like this.
It doesn't seem like they can. But then there's another big thing I want to bring up. And I know this is last year, and there's two different teams. Don't forget, Rashad Penny averaged 8.9 yards a carry, 17 carries for 151 yards. DK Metcalf had 7 receptions for 149 yards. Lockett had 6 receptions for 91. And I get it. We're different teams. So I'm not bringing this up like, well, this is going to happen again. No, I bring it up because if you look at the last game before that, Pete Carroll's team puts up points against the Lions. Now, hopefully it's all changed. But if you just look at stats and you look at trends, this game is not going to be relied on by David Montgomery. My man's in the background. David Montgomery isn't winning this game. Jared Goff isn't winning this game. Cam Sutton, CJ GJ, Kirby Joseph, Alex Anzalone. That's who's winning this game, bud. If our defense fucking poops the bed, then we're screwed. Like that. It's so big. It's such a big contest for our defense, not our offense, our defense.
You're right, but I feel like our offense didn't take over in Kansas City like that. It was more of our defense that showed up and won the game, you know, with the pick six.
Absolutely.
So I know the defense is still proving themselves, especially against Seattle, who done put up all these points on us the last 2 years. But I truly believe this is not the same defense.
I get it.
that
I
they-
get it.
that
I
they
get it. I
played
get it.
last
I get
year.
it. It's
And
I
when
just
they
wish-
ran all over us, our defensive line, our front seven was injured. It was
Right.
young. It was thin. And it's just not anymore. So I don't expect them to go crazy on the ground, because that's what's going to happen. It was the ground game that propelled the play action to hit DK Metcalf deep and Tyler Lockett deep. Without that ground game, none of those points happen for Seattle. So
Kenny Walker versus Aiden Hutchinson. We've seen Walker win that battle time and time again. So
this is true. Aiden, you hear that, Aiden?
yeah.
My man Nick Faber calling you out. He
Calling
said that
you right
Michigan
out.
State and Kenny Walker ran all over you the last time he saw him.
Hell yeah. Michigan State, in fact, ran all over Washington yesterday for the first 7 points and then decided to not score again. They suck. How'd Michigan do yesterday? Bowling Green.
All I know is that we won. I'm not
I know,
even
but
gonna
yeah.
complain
Did the
That's it.
score
It was
go over? Did the score go
No,
over 58?
way under.
It went
that's what I
under.
figured.
I think
Someone I read someone say that was their lock of the week out of all bets, any prop bet, anything. They were like, whatever you
No,
do,
They
take
don't
the
watch
Michigan
Michigan
under.
football. Then. That take Michigan under.
Yeah.
Then
but the game.
Yes, Michigan.
Under.
They are under machines this year, and they
Yeah.
are no cover machines. They do not give a shit about covering. So
I didn't know that. The dude was saying he's like they've missed they're under every time. He's like, I guarantee you put your house on it and you'll have 2 houses tomorrow morning if you put the under. And I was like, well, shit, I didn't. But
almost had 2 houses. Dang.
I know I almost had 2 houses. Come on.
I will say though, Nick, you were talking about the running game, and we looked pretty good against the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes was really the only one that carved us up rushing the ball. Pacheco, 8 carries, 23 yards, averaging 2.9. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 6 carries, 22 yards, 3.7 per carry. So that's 14 for 45 on their 2 running backs. They did have, some receivers, and obviously Mahomes scrambled for a few, had 6 for 45. But I don't really think Geno is much of a scrambler. I know he can, but he doesn't. He doesn't. It's weird. I do think the one thing we might have our hands full with is coaching. Seems like Pete Carroll has had Dan Campbell's number, and you might think on paper, oh no, we got the better team, we're going to win. Well, what happened last week? Sean McVay outcoached the crap out of Pete Carroll. Sean McVay has Pete Carroll's number, absolutely dominates him, had the weaker team and won. So we can see a team with, just all you need is the head coach and you can get the job done. Granted, different Dan Campbell than he was a couple years ago. Seems like he's better coming off of a monstrous Chiefs win. So
I kind of feel like same Dan Campbell, better team. I think Dan Campbell would have went for it on your own 19-yard line on 4th down in the first year of his career.
he was doing it from the beginning. Yeah,
he's just always Dan Campbell but hopefully he's smarter and a lot better. I'm just joking at him. Yeah, you're 100% right. He has a lot more experience now and should be great. Our run defense is so stout. And Adam, you've heard me, and Julius, you've heard me say it since week 7 last year when we shut down Saquon Barkley, dude. And I told everyone, I said, you can't run against us. You cannot run against us unless you're Carolina. And you play on a freaking cement field. So, congratulations to them. I think you're right, Adam. You hit it on the head. Okay. This game comes down to coaching. And if Pete Carroll outcoaches Dan Campbell, we don't win. Doesn't matter about the teams. And then people will be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I'll blame a lot of it on Campbell if we don't win this game. This is a must-win for us. This is a revenge game. And you can't lose revenge games. This is Revenge Tour 2023. Like, we're coming for every single team. For whatever reason, and Seattle is the one that we've had circled outside of Kansas City since May, since they dropped the schedule. We saw Kansas City, Seattle home opener. We got at least 15,000, maybe more, wearing ski masks to this freaking game to take what's ours. If we lose this game, shit's fucked. I don't like it. I'm going to be pretty upset. I'll be blaming someone. I'm be throwing freaking fisticuffs with someone on the Lions because this is home. I expect Goff to have 4 touchdowns, Reynolds to have a touchdown, St. Brown to have a touchdown, Gibbs to have a touchdown, Monty to have a touchdown, Laporta to have 2 touchdowns. Like, I want everybody to have shit. So We have to win this game, and I don't want to win it 42-41. I don't want to win it 30-28. I want to win this game by a couple touchdowns, and I want to be just like laughing the entire fourth quarter, just laughing out loud by myself on my couch in my house, laughing at Pete Carroll. That's what I want. And if we're not that, then I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see.
Yes, Ford Field will almost be as loud as your basement, Nick.
You guys, for anyone who doesn't know, last week we watched the show together, and it was the loudest. It was louder than any Ford Field game I've ever been to. It was so loud. At one point, Julius was about to run through the wall like the Kool-Aid man. It was.
It was fun. Nick, you kind of have brought me to my next question, though.
Love
it. Is there any way if we beat Seattle, that it could be a better victory than the Chiefs' victory?
Yeah, there is. And I would say that the better victory is the complete opposite of what the Chiefs game was. I want the better victory would be this 55-3 blowout. Like that's a good victory. A good victory does not 21-20 against Seattle. That is not a good victory. That is fun, right? That's a roller coaster of emotions game, and those are the games that we love. That's why we're fans. We like to be let down, especially as Lions fans. We like to be let down because that's even a better come up when we get back up. So we like those games. And I was telling Adam versus Kansas City, I was like, watch this game be 21-20. And the last 9 minutes of the game is just edge of your seat entertainment. That's super fun. The only way this game's better, 55-0. Yeah. Just from beginning to end. Opening kickoff, we take it for a touchdown, or they fumble it, we get it and return it for a touchdown. And then it's just like the Dallas Giants game, 17 sacks, fucking 3 picks, 6 fumbles, just an onslaught. Detroit is here to play. Josh Reynolds has 4 touchdowns. My fantasy team wins 1,000,000-0. I would say that's a good victory.
You put it great, Nick. You put it great. And I'm going to just say it right now. The whole world, all Lions fans, everybody that's going to be at Ford Field, they expecting the Lions to beat the living hell out of the Seahawks from start to finish. That's what we're expecting. I'm expecting that, guys. I just don't think the Seahawks are ready. They think this is the 2002 Detroit Lions, the 2021 Detroit Lions. That's how they're going to come in there with those 2 backup tackles. And I think that the Lions are just going to punch them straight in the throat. Big time. I'm talking 40-10, 45-10. I'm talking about it's over in the third quarter.
I hope so. But yeah, back to answering my own question, I guess. I was kind of trying to phrase it as what holds more weight? A 1-point win over a contender team like Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, whatever, or a blowout victory over, subpar average type team.
Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I think that's
that definitely holds more weight. But I think it's a better win if we blow Seattle out. But it holds more weight with beating Kansas City, no matter what. Unless we beat Seattle, literally we put up 80 points on them and don't let them score a point. That might hold some weight. That might be okay, I don't give a fuck about that 1 point win against Kansas City.
20-0 now. 20-0, boys.
Yeah, that holds a lot of weight. Yeah. I guess honestly, to answer that question, the way Julius just said that too. Seattle right now, and after Seattle, Atlanta will hold more weight, and after that, until we lose, every game holds more weight than the last because
scorched earth. That's what this has come to. Scorched earth.
Yep.
Every win will create more momentum.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it's going to be a snowball effect too, and not just momentum, but confidence too. And I think that's a big thing that not just Lions fans, but players, coaches, the entire city of Detroit was just not confident forever. And it's
how could we be?
The Lions faithful was going into the Chiefs game oh, we can win this. There were still doubters, and now you have probably the majority of Lions fans, if not all Lions fans, expecting to win this game. No, we're not losing. If we do lose, this will be terrible. It's not we lost, oh well. Or, well, it was a close game. It's we win or this is a bust.
Yep.
And I don't think the Lions team, players, whatever, has had that mentality for quite some time. So to have this confidence and just momentum and whole fan and all this, good juju coming around. Like, oof, it's gonna be
Bobby Wagner knocking the ball out of the back of the end zone. I remember that.
That's right.
I remember that, and I hope that Dan Campbell showed that clip to the whole Lions team, and that just propels them to just scorch earth the Seahawks.
And the other one I freaking remember, or how about Cam Chancellor punching it Calvin's arm out of bounds right as he was going. Oh man, I'll never forget that. I was so mad.
Yep, both of those. And this is the refs are on Pete Carroll's side.
Oh yeah,
we have still not earned the refs.
That
love.
is true.
Because we saw with Jawan Taylor all game last week. Like
the refs have started to take notice of this, off. It's like, oh, of course they are. Of course they are.
You couldn't walk out of that game without people being like, what the fuck was happening? Did you not see this? So, like,
if we would have lost, that would have been our Lions ref shit. Say SOL.
Lions is what it would have been. It would have been SOL. But we ain't SOL. We are BNL, the bare naked ladies. The brand new Lions, and we're taking what's ours, boys. Let's go get a victory.
Fuck the refs.
All right, boys. Let's get some score predictions in.
Let me see if
I start off first. I'm feeling high scored.
Let me see if I can find out what we predicted earlier in the year. Real quick, before we get into our new predictions. One second.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I love how we give like 5 predictions before the actual game.
One of them's got to be right. All right. After Adam was the only one to predict the Lions beating Kansas City last week, we go into home against Seattle. Nick predicted the Lions to win 23-18. Adam predicted the Lions to win 34-17. And Julius predicted the Lions to win 30-18. So we're all on the Detroit train from May. What do we say this time, boys?
Wow. Well, that's confidence in myself. I'll tip my hat to myself. My cap to myself, can't speak. Because I tweeted out 34-23 was my Lions prediction.
Nice.
So I'm still on that Lions 34 points. Might have to go place a little Lions to score exact 34 points. I don't know. But ultimately, I'll be pounding the blue Kool-Aid for this game.
Did he just say the blue Kool-Aid?
Well, it's more or less for this little kid right here.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you got to tell yourself to go to sleep at night.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this isn't my Kool-Aid. I flew coffee for me.
Pour vodka in this little like blue Kool-Aid. Oh yeah, we're gonna get going tonight, boys.
Yes, sir. 34-23, though. I think we're going to see a lot of field goals, a lot of points. I think Goff plays a pretty much perfect game. I think the defense is rocking. I do expect Seattle to just kind of nickel and dime some points out of us. They do have big play guys like DK, Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. So, and also Kenneth Walker, too. He's a big play guy as well. So I think we're going to see an over 34-23 is what I am locking in with.
I chose 30-18. That seems to be quite conservative in my book, boys. I'm
surprised it wasn't 75-3.
I honestly don't think Seattle scores more than like 7 points in this game. I honestly just don't see it. I just think their offense is going to be under constant pressure. He's not going to have time to throw the ball to DK Metcalf. I want the Lions to bring the heat. Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston career games. So I'm gonna keep the Lions at 30 points, but I'm gonna go Lions 30, Seahawks 6.
Okay. I love it.
30-6.
Looks like we got a few people watching. Throw in your score predictions in the comments. We'll get them up here. Right now we got Brandon saying 31-17 Lions. Kind of right on par with what you guys are saying. I said 23-18. I don't like that I said that. And really scoregami prediction there. I don't know what I was thinking about that one.
You got week 1 right, buddy.
I'm 1-0 so far, dude. I'm predicting games, so maybe I should stick with that one. This game's crazy to try to predict. This game is crazy trying to predict. I think on offense we score a lot more points than I said in that one. We got Peter saying 24-31 Lions, reading that backwards. A 7-point victory. I think the Lions score 40 points. I think we put up a 40 burger for the second consecutive year against Seattle. So I'm going to give us 42 points. I'm going to give us 41 points. I'm going to say 5 touchdowns, 2 field goals. 41 to 21. 41-21.
21. I like it.
41-21 Detroit Lions.
Nice old beat down.
Yeah. I truly do think it's a beatdown. I really do think so.
I agree too. After what I saw last week against the Rams, not having offensive tackles for Seattle, Hutchinson, the pressure he got.
Who our number one fan, Mary, saying 28-10 Lions.
I like it. But yes, I'm with you, Nick. I think it's gonna be a big beatdown blowout. Hopefully, nothing different. But as always, you guys can check us out on Twitter at Honolulu Blues _ We got a nice little hopeful giveaway going. If Sam Laporta scores 2 touchdowns, we'll be giving away a Lions jersey of your choice to a lucky winner, or $100 cash if you want. So go check out our pinned tweet right now. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, comment, whatever. We appreciate all the comments. Shout out my boy Zach. Go Lions, baby. Thanks for hopping in. Check us out individually at Nick Faber NFL for Nick, and the 5th top for Julius. And as always, Everyday FFB for myself. And yeah, how can I forget? It's my birthday tomorrow. So hopefully the Lions can get a victory. They did last year. It was when they beat the Commanders to get, it wasn't really a losing streak, but it was our first win of the season. And I did cash a nice parlay too. So hopefully I can cash another Lions parlay and get the job done. We got Tim saying they're going to win by 20. So yeah, chat is popping. Hopefully it's going to be a blowout. As always,
Lions.
boys. Go!
Lions!
Go Lions!
Happy early birthday.